Eyal Baruch Levi B. from Soul Centered. Soul Centered is a center for meaning, purpose, and healing in the afternoon of life, and I am one of the co-founders along with my wife Ariella, and we guide people through midlife and the afternoon of life, finding meaning and purpose and healing, because there is no better time than the afternoon of life for meaning, authentic, true purpose, and deep, holistic mind, body, spirit healing. So I'm here outside my office. I try and get out here every day during the summer months. It's beautiful here in Cherry Creek, Colorado. If you've never been here, you should come here, visit us. Not only do we have the Rockies, which I could show you right now, but we have this beautiful creek in behind my office, and it's where I come to kind of rejuvenate, replenish. Guiding people all day, every day is the thrill and honor of a lifetime, but I have to tend to myself, take care of myself, so that I'm at my center, my soul is centered to be in relationship with others. And so I come out here and I recharge my batteries. I meditate, I journal, and I like to share, hopefully, words of inspiration and wisdom with you all. Today I want to talk about the Enneagram. How many of you know the Enneagram? So the Enneagram is an ancient, some people call it a personality assessment. Myers-Briggs and Strength Finders, those are personality assessments. This factors in personality, but it's also character, spirituality, energy. It's much more of what type is our energy, because there's really, at least according to the Enneagram, there's 9 types. Ennea means 9 and gram is a picture. So it's a picture of 9 types. It's kind of a circle. And dating back probably 2,000 years or so to the Christian desert mystics, and then really finding its way forward in history through the Catholic mystics to the psychotherapists of a previous generation. And now today, somewhat of a standard tool, even utilized in business, where I'm utilizing it in a lot of business settings in addition to spiritual counseling. But the bottom line is there are 9 energy types, and you fall into one of them, and it isn't good or bad. It's descriptive and it's helpful. It's a blueprint, right? Blueprints are never good or bad. I mean, they're bad if they're not accurate, but there's no value on the actual blueprint. And I work with people in meaning and purpose and healing. Those are very amorphous, enigmatic things. We need blueprints as much as we can to understand the meaning of a particular situation, the purpose of our life, the healing process through all kinds of life's trials and turmoils and tragedies. And so the Enneagram is one more tool. For me, it's a primary tool that I use in my own life and guiding other people. And how it helps is that your energy is of a certain type. Within that type, there's not just 9, there's 3 subtypes, but then there's all kinds of other nuances to it. So in the end, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of energy, character, personality types. Mine, at least the broad category, is an Enneagram 8. So it's not positive or negative. It's got great positive and great negative attributes. Jung would call these light and shadow. And the shadow is, I think, why the Enneagram is so powerful, because it can really help us understand our shadow, understand the light and understand the shadow. So an Enneagram 8, as an example, is the active controller. It's somebody who wants to go out into the world and create in a big way, which has its merits and its positives. Mother Teresa was an 8 probably, and Martin Luther King Jr. was an 8. Greater men and women than I were 8s, but not without shadows too. So you go out and you effectuate change, and it comes from this place of control and wanting to control and create a better world, a better society, design a better system. The problem with an 8 is that it can degenerate or disintegrate into controlling, over-controlling, coming from a place of anger. Right? Anger can be amazing. Righteous indignation, injustice at all kinds of injustices in the world, but it can also devolve into just anger and reacting to anger and living in an angry way. Many great men and women, prophets throughout history have been overly angry, overly zealous, pushing people away in the process. So you go around the Enneagram, each type has its light, its positive, if you will, blessing kind of side, and it's dark, it's negative, it's curse, if you will. And using this in my own life and with my clients, people I guide, in mapping out the afternoon of life has been invaluable. I started studying Enneagram 20 years ago and lightly touched it for 15, 18 of those years. But for the past couple years, especially the past year, really been deep into the Enneagram because the work I'm doing with clients around meaning and purpose and healing, the more blueprints, the more structure we can bring to something that by definition doesn't have a blueprint and doesn't have structure is powerful. And it has become a powerful resource, creating shared language, really unpacking the shadows of our energy, understanding how we react versus respond, which is another conversation that I'm going to have here in a moment. And that's what I offer to you. Go out and check out the Enneagram. There's some really great websites. The Enneagram Institute and Integrative 9 are my favorites. Integrative 9 is the best test out there, but it's very expensive. Enneagram Institute is a good place to start. I think it's 10, 15 bucks, but it's worth the money and it's a good starting point. It won't give you a definitive answer always in which type you are, but it'll give you your top 1, 2, 3, and you'll feel it out. Reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you more about it. And if you'd like to know more about what I call Soul Unleashed, which is exploring the soul and your soul's meaning, purpose, and healing in the afternoon of life, I'd love to offer you a discovery session. So give me a shout, Baruch, Baruch at mysoulcenter.org or mysoulcenter.org. Check us out. Love to hear from you. Until then, shalom, salam, namaste, and peace.